to SexyRacy Time. I'm your host Edward Hong, and today's topic will be about the mainstream demonization of Islam and Muslims in general, or as music would like to call it, Muslim rage! Muslim rage! Ah! The question of the day is, what is Muslim rage? According to Ayaan Hirsi Ali, who wrote the Newsweek article Muslim Rage, released on September 24, 2012, she basically declares that Muslim rage is a natural reaction for every Muslim to have when anytime someone makes fun of their religion or specifically the Prophet Muhammad. Now, this is a gross generalization considering there are over 1.5 billion Muslims across the world, not just in the Middle East, but in Asia, in America, and all over. And I guarantee you, not every single Muslim are just raging and protesting in the streets. Now, yes, there are some Muslims who are protesting in the streets in the Middle East specifically, but when you say something like Muslim rage and generalize, what is wrong with the Muslim people? What's wrong with the followers of Islam? Why can't they be like, why can't they take a joke like the Christians or the Buddhists or whatever? Like, you are putting them in a box and there's no way to get out of that. The mainstream American media, for the longest time, have always depicted Muslims and Islam to be a religion, to be a group of people that are always prone to violence, to terrorism, that they're nothing more than a bunch of savage animals. This is far from the truth. Because once again, the ones who actually do this, the Al-Qaeda, the real terrorists, represent a fucking small fraction of what the entire Muslim population is. Like I said before, there are 1.5 billion people on this planet. That's 1/6 of this planet that are Muslim. So to say that 0.0001% of this 1.5 billion population are actually the violent people and the rest are nothing like that. Like, you can't write an article about it, especially if you're a mainstream, like a respected article. So Newsweek put it out there in the Twitterverse that they wanted people to discuss the latest cover with the Muslim rage. And so they put the hashtag Muslim rage, and they wanted to see how people would respond. Little did they know that the people who would respond the most would be Muslims, Muslim Americans, Muslims all around the world, and friends of Muslims who won't take this shit from people trying to generalize an entire group of people in one hateful category. So some of the truly amazing responses that I've seen so far, one of them is from my friend Fatemeh Fakhraie, who is the moderator of the Muslimah Media Watch. She writes, "Not getting the cute airport security guy to give me a pat down for my randomly selected search. Hashtag Muslim rage." Now, she is one of many truly amazing responses that is basically taking this media perception of whatever, they like to think Muslims are, and when you give it to the people, when you have Twitter, when you have Facebook, to counteract that, we're coming to realize that really the real news isn't what these people are saying, but it's what the ordinary people with the power of Twitter, with the power of Facebook are saying. And yes, there are some drawbacks to it. Yes, many of them are quite, stupid or whatever. But when it comes to stuff like this, it's especially important that we as people have a voice to say it out there. I'm one of them. I'm making a fucking YouTube video out of it. And I just want to come down to this simple truth. You cannot stereotype or label an entire group of people based on the actions of a few. You just cannot. And I know I have to watch myself doing that as well, because every now and then I get fucking pissed about white people and I generalize it. And I can't do that because it's not white people to blame, it's just people who have been affected by white privilege that are to blame. So, which basically is saying that I can't generalize a whole group of white people for the actions of a few. So there you have it. That was my extremely passionate spiel about Muslim rage and the mainstream responsibility that they cannot generalize an entire group of people for the actions of a few. Because when you do that, you just stir up fear, hate, and all of this useless negative emotional bullshit that people shouldn't have. We should encourage people to think outside the box. I hope you enjoy this. Stay tuned for this Thursday because I'm going to go even more into white privilege. I kind of touched on it like just a little bit today as well as last week, but we're going to go full right on white privilege and all the problems that it has that still affects people and the world to this day. So with that being said, until next time, stay sexy, stay racy.